Breaking news that's affecting millions of Americans. The moment Social Security recipients have been desperately waiting for has finally arrived. After months of heated debates and negotiations, Congress has just approved a massive $3,200 stimulus payment for Social Security beneficiaries, with deposits hitting bank accounts on April 29. But here's what's really turning heads. This isn't just another temporary relief measure. The implications of this historic decision are far more significant than what most people realize. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly who qualifies, how this payment differs from previous stimulus checks, and the surprising way this could impact your financial future. Plus, I'll share 3 critical steps you need to take right now to ensure you don't miss out on this payment. Stay tuned, because what I'm about to tell you could put thousands of extra dollars in your pocket this month. Before we dive deeper into these game-changing details, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The announcement that shocked Washington and Wall Street came after an unprecedented bipartisan agreement in Congress. With inflation continuing to impact Americans, particularly seniors and disabled individuals relying on Social Security benefits, lawmakers finally reached a consensus on this substantial relief package. But what exactly prompted this sudden move, and why is it happening now? Let's address the burning questions on everyone's mind. First, who exactly qualifies for this $3,200 payment? The good news is that eligibility requirements are surprisingly straightforward. If you're currently receiving any form of Social Security benefits, whether it's retirement, disability, SSI, or survivor's benefits, you're automatically included in this stimulus program. Unlike previous stimulus payments, there are no income caps or phase-out thresholds to worry about. One of the most significant aspects of this stimulus payment is its timing. The April 29 deposit date wasn't chosen randomly. It coincides with the end of the first quarter of the fiscal year, allowing the Social Security Administration to implement this massive distribution without disrupting regular benefit payments. But here's something crucial you need to know. This payment will be distributed differently from your regular monthly benefits. Many viewers have been asking about the payment method. Will it arrive the same way as your regular Social Security benefits? The answer is both yes and no. While the Social Security Administration will use your existing payment information, they're implementing a new verification system to prevent fraud and ensure accurate distribution. This is where those 3 critical steps I mentioned earlier become vital. Step 1. Verify your current contact information with the Social Security Administration. Even if you think your information is up to date, recent system updates mean some records might need refreshing. Don't assume everything is correct. Take 5 minutes to check. Step 2. Ensure your direct deposit information is current and active. If you've changed banks or accounts in the past year, this is particularly important. The last thing you want is your stimulus payment bouncing back due to an inactive account. Step 3. Monitor your My Social Security account online. The SSA will be using this platform to communicate important updates about the stimulus payment. If you haven't created an account yet, now is the time to do so. But here's where things get really interesting. This stimulus payment isn't just a one-time boost to help with current expenses. The legislation includes provisions that could lead to additional support in the future. The bill establishes a framework for emergency payments that could be triggered by specific economic conditions, potentially creating a safety net for future crises. Let's talk about the economic impact of this stimulus. With approximately 70 million Social Security recipients receiving $3,200 each, we're looking at an injection of over $224 billion into the economy. Economists are already analyzing how this could affect inflation, consumer spending, and the overall economic recovery. Some experts suggest this could be the boost local economies need, particularly in communities with high concentrations of retirees. However, it's important to understand how this payment might affect other benefits you're receiving. Unlike previous stimulus payments, this one won't count as income for means-tested programs like SNAP benefits, Medicaid, or housing assistance. This was a key provision that lawmakers included to ensure the most vulnerable recipients wouldn't lose other essential support. Many viewers have asked about taxation. Will this $3,200 be taxed? The legislation specifically designates this payment as a non-taxable benefit, similar to how previous stimulus payments were handled. This means you won't need to report it as income on your next tax return, allowing you to use the full amount as needed. Another crucial aspect of this stimulus payment is its impact on different age groups receiving Social Security benefits. For retired workers, this payment could help offset the rising costs of healthcare and daily expenses. For disabled beneficiaries, it provides additional resources for medical equipment and care. For survivors and dependents, it offers financial breathing room during challenging times. The timing of this stimulus also raises questions about its relationship to the annual cost of living adjustment, COLA. To be clear, this $3,200 payment is entirely separate from any COLA increases. You'll still receive your regular benefits with applicable COLA adjustments. This stimulus is an additional payment on top of those benefits. Let's address some concerns about scams and fraud. Unfortunately, whenever there's a major benefit announcement, scammers try to take advantage of the situation. Remember, the Social Security Administration will never call, email, or text you asking for personal information about this stimulus payment. They already have your information and will not need to verify it through these channels. If anyone contacts you claiming to need information to process your stimulus payment, it's a scam. The payment distribution process is also worth understanding in detail. The Social Security Administration has developed a staggered release schedule to manage the massive number of payments efficiently. While April 29th is the official payment date, some recipients might see the deposit pending in their accounts a few days earlier. Don't panic if you don't see the payment exactly on April 29th. The distribution could take several business days to complete. For those wondering about retroactive payments or missed stimulus checks from previous years, this new payment is entirely separate. However, the legislation does include provisions for expedited processing of any outstanding claims from previous stimulus programs. If you believe you're still owed money from earlier stimulus payments, this might be an opportunity to resolve those claims. The global economic context of this stimulus is also significant. As other countries implement various forms of economic support for their citizens, this U.S. stimulus payment could influence international approaches to Social Security support. Some economists suggest this could set a precedent for how developed nations address economic challenges affecting their elderly and disabled populations. Looking ahead, what does this stimulus payment mean for the future of Social Security? While this is a one-time payment, the legislation's framework for future emergency payments could signal a shift in how the government responds to economic challenges facing benefit recipients. This could be particularly important as discussions about Social Security reform continue. Recipients should also consider how best to use this stimulus payment. While everyone's situation is different, financial advisors suggest creating a priority list. Consider urgent needs first, such as medical expenses or essential repairs. Then look at paying down high-interest debt if applicable. Finally, if possible, consider setting aside some funds for future emergencies. The impact on local communities cannot be overstated. With millions of recipients receiving this payment simultaneously, local businesses and service providers might see increased activity. This could create a positive ripple effect in communities with high concentrations of Social Security beneficiaries, potentially supporting local economic recovery efforts. For those with representative payees managing their benefits, the process will remain similar to regular payment procedures. The stimulus payment will be managed according to existing arrangements, ensuring proper oversight and use of funds for those who need assistance managing their benefits. Another important aspect is the effect on Medicare beneficiaries. Many Social Security recipients also receive Medicare, and questions have arisen about how this stimulus might affect premiums or coverage. The legislation specifically prevents this payment from affecting Medicare calculations, ensuring beneficiaries won't see any negative impacts on their healthcare coverage. For SSI recipients, particularly those with resource limits, special provisions ensure this payment won't count against resource limits for 12 months. This gives recipients time to use the funds without risking their ongoing eligibility for SSI benefits. The technological infrastructure supporting this massive payment distribution has been upgraded to handle the load. The Social Security Administration has implemented new security measures and enhanced their processing capabilities to ensure smooth distribution while protecting against fraud and errors. As we wrap up this comprehensive overview of the $3,200 Social Security stimulus payment, remember those 3 critical steps. Verify your contact information, check your direct deposit details, and monitor your My Social Security account. This historic payment represents more than just financial relief. It's a recognition of the challenges faced by millions of Americans who rely on Social Security benefits. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to stay updated on any changes or additional information about this stimulus payment.